Good evening, this is Tom Mackin, Mayor of the City of Perrysburg, and I will call this City Council meeting of June 2nd, 2020 to order. Roll call, please.
Okay, Ms. Bourne.
Here.
Mr. Kuhlman.
Here via telecom.
Thank you. Ms. Materney.
Here.
Mr. Matuzak.
Here.
Mr. McCarthy is not here. Mr. Smith.
Here.
And Mr. Van Hoosen.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please stand if you're able and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
President Council, the minutes for May 19, 2020.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe everyone has received a copy of the council meeting minutes, so I have heard no objections on that. I would like to move to approve the minutes of the city council meeting held on May 19, 2020 as written and dispense with the reading.
Roll call, please.
Okay, Ms. Bourne.
Yes.
Mr. Kuhlman.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Materney.
Yes.
Mr. Matuzak.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Hoosen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not aware of any special reports. We have no letters communicated.
Actually, I do have one that was emailed over to me. Let me pull that up here real quick. I apologize. I did receive an email from constituent Dustin Decker of 12865 Five Point Road, number 136, Perrysburg, Ohio, 43551. He has asked to let other members of council and the mayor know that he strongly supports the use of police body cameras. They are a necessary part of everyday uniform to protect the community and to protect our police officers from false accusations. Please take this into consideration while moving forward with the budget recommendations so that the proper items are budgeted. That's it.
Thank you. I think we'll address that in certain other parts of the meeting tonight. Thank you. Administrative reports. I'll start first. As council's aware, you got an email from the chief of police regarding a number of matters. And then today, you should have received a formal letter from the chief to me outlining the chief and the police division's position regarding the recent events in Minnesota regarding Mr. Floyd and what the division has been doing regarding training and how to make sure that it is stated are ready regarding training and equipment. And I think that is one of the issues that would have been covered in that letter. So we appreciate that timely request, and we appreciate the chief providing that information to the public because there have been a number of people who asked about it. I will also say, for council's information, the administration met with the uptown, downtown merchants today regarding the DORA proposal. That meeting went relatively well, outlined some concerns, and then the group was going to meet and go through some of the concerns based on what the council has said previously regarding doors in general and some other things that need to be addressed in their proposal. So we anticipate that they will have it back to us. They're going to take it under advisement, maybe make some changes, submit the recommended revised document to us. We expect to have that to the administration in the next week. We expect to be presenting the entire DORA packet to council for the clock to start running and for council to start its consideration by the next council meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I do have something to add about DORA. I'd like to say there's no justification for taking any action on DORA until a wide range of Perrysburg residents are here and have been allowed to publicly comment. One-on-one or private interviews or private meetings are not public and are not an acceptable process for this procedure. Thank you.
Thank you. I would just say that is an issue, and I know that the administration is working with President of Council how best to allow all residents to be heard on that issue. And so there's a full discussion both from concerns and from the supporters of the DORA, as we know that those people were vocal regarding the other application last year. I also believe it's time to move forward that downtown businesses feel it's necessary and a part of something they could use given the restrictions and social distancing requirements. So I believe it's no longer appropriate to wait. We're going to submit it and let council consider the issues.
And what I will add as well, Mr. Mayor, is I do not believe that we are going to be passing anything without trying to allow multiple public comments at times. So once it comes to us as council, I want to make sure that we have a public hearing the same way we did with the Levis.
Excellent.
Did we address that before any committees last time around, or was it always like a?
It was a whole.
Committee of the whole.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the best, whatever council's preferences. Okay, I have no other administrator report.
Yes, Your Honor, just one comment, going back to Mr. Decker's comment to Councilman Smith. So in your inboxes of your city email addresses today, this afternoon, I revised the budget document that I provided to council prior to the last meeting. In conversation with Chief Jones, we feel it's necessary to continue actively moving forward with replacing our existing dash cams and then adding the new body cam component. So in an upcoming safety committee meeting, we'll be bringing information to the committee.
Finance Director.
Okay, I have a couple of quick items. First, a reminder that prior to the next council meeting on June 15th at 6 o'clock, we will be having our joint meeting with the trustees. My question to Mr. Smith, is there anything I need to do at this point?
What I would hope is that we have the teleconference available as well during that time. So that way, if the township trustees want to call in that way, we have proper social distancing. I think we do need to move forward with this. It has the agenda, just make sure that we distribute that amongst.
Right, I will send out an agenda this week.
It'll be at 6 p.m., so just 30 minutes before our normal meeting here in this chambers.
Okay.
What's the date?
What's the date? The 2nd, so it would be the 16th.
Yes, the
June
5th. I've written the 15th, but it should be the 16th.
Yeah.
Oh, same day as well.
Yeah, it's just the 30 minutes before the council meeting.
Yeah, 16th.
Dave, I'd just like to say the city of Perrysburg, I saw where the city of Perrysburg has received a AA+ bond rating from Standard & Poor. Congratulations to you, our finance director, Dave Krebs.
Well, thank you. We are relatively lucky to be in the financial position that we are in. I'll leave it at that. Moving swiftly along, my second item is the summer meeting schedule. Hopefully you all received the email from me. I just threw out there, in order to keep the meetings spaced evenly, I am recommending July 7th, July 28th, and August 18th, which keeps the first meeting in July and the second meeting in August on the same dates and just pushes the middle ones together. Now, if we do that, we need to figure out what we're going to do with the existing committee meetings that would meet on the 28th. So, again, I leave that up to you guys. We haven't really had a lot of committee meetings of late anyway, but
No, I think what we can do is cross that road as we get a little closer. Once we get through the next committee, once they meet, they can make that determination how they want to meet. But I don't see any issues with the summer schedule at this juncture. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts with it, but I say we just move forward
with that schedule.
for pros, and we can always make changes as needed.
Yeah. Very good. End of my report.
Thank you. Director Vaughn.
I actually didn't have anything until we started talking about the summer schedule. In the event that, so if we stick with that schedule, when I provide through the mayor correspondence regarding the DORA, we will lay out certain dates because you will be under a specific timeline as to when you must make a decision. So if we can accommodate that within your summer calendar dates of meetings already scheduled, we'll try and work that in, but there may be a need for a special meeting in the summer. Other than that, I have no other report.
And what I would say as well is I don't think that as council, and as we did with Levis last time, we made special meetings specifically for DORA, and I would not be surprised if we did the same thing with how debated that topic becomes.
Very good. President of Council.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to thank the administration here regarding the body camera systems for our officers. I do believe that this is a appropriate measure to move forward with in light of everything that's going on in Minneapolis. I also would like to suggest that our safety committee and our safety chair over there begins to undertake the task to be in discussion with the administration and the community on what more we can do as a community to help ensure that the minorities that live within Perrysburg, as well as those who are visiting us, feel safe and know that they are safe. So as we move forward in the safety committee, I would like to see that as a recurring topic, just to review everything that we are doing as a community to help protect them. If anyone present here tonight or listening in have time tomorrow, I would like to ask that we as a community come out in support of the BLM protest and march that is going on through Perrysburg tomorrow. The march will begin at 2 p.m. at Woodlands Park and will proceed to our police department ending around 5 p.m. And that would be the end of my reports.
Thank you. Appreciate that, and echo those sentiments, and I think that those are good steps, and we do have a number of items that we are looking at internally, so we'd be happy to work with council on that. Committee reports, Finance and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report on that since last time. Our next scheduled meeting is for a week from today, if we have one. I don't know if you got it. You think we're going to need one?
Well, it's time for the certificate of estimated revenues.
Okay.
So I mean, you know, it's kind of housekeeping, but, you know, but it's the,
All right. That'll be a week from today.
Okay.
What, 5:30, I think? All right.
Service Committee.
yeah, 5:30.
No report, we had no meeting. Next meeting is June 24th, 5:30. I'll let the rest of the members know if we decide to cancel.
Very good, thank you. Safety Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report. Our next scheduled meeting is on June the 23rd at 6 p.m. And of course, it too is subject to change. And I just would like to comment, there was a letter sent out by our police chief today that addressed the type of leadership that he's providing for the community, specifically that he has asked through the budget to fund a complete review of policies, and so he had planned on this last fall. So I just want to compliment him on his foresight and being proactive. Concludes my report.
I agree with that completely. The Recreation Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have not had a meeting. Our next meeting is scheduled for June 9th. That's the same, something comes up, but for now it's June 9th at 6:30, which is next Tuesday. And also I'd like to mention, I heard from Ryan about the integrated, inclusive playground. Indicated that right now they're putting it kind of on hold, just because funds have somewhat dried up because of the COVID stuff and a few other factors, the economy, et cetera. So he did say that this is just on the back burner for now, but they do intend to try and go forward next year in 2021. That would be in Rotary Park.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning. Who wants?
This is Councilman Van Dusen for Corey's benefit.
Tim's.
We have no report for planning and zoning, but our next scheduled meeting is on June the 10th at 5:30.
Thank you. Personnel Committee.
Yeah, we had no meeting, and I want to clarify for the record that he was doing that on behalf of Mr. McCarthy, Mr. McCarthy's benefits rather than my benefits on the planning and zoning. But we had no meeting in personnel. Our next scheduled meeting is June 23rd at 5 p.m. and our plan is to move forward with that meeting if we have any agenda items. And I will have one item I want to discuss on other business.
Thank you. Public Utilities.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have reports. We had a meeting on May 27th, and it was called to order at 6:32 by Chairman Jonathan Smith. Committee member present were in council chambers were Jan Turning and Jonathan Smith. Committee member Barry Van Hoosen was present via teleconferencing. Also present were Laura Alkire, Law Director, and Alice Yassi, Director of Public Utilities. First item on the agenda was discussion about late fees for utilities. Mr. Smith stated that in Rule 24 of Section 1060.06 of the code, it states that bills not paid by the 15th of the month shall be subject to a 15% penalty. Ms. Elkhire added that the codified ordinances are silent about whether the Director of Public Utilities and City Council can waive late fees. There was discussion regarding issues with mail delivery and what recourse residents have when their payment is delayed. Mr. Smith suggested that customers be given a one-time forgiveness in a rolling 12-month period. Ms. Gassi was asked the amount of penalties charged each month. Ms. Gassi said that she did not have that information with her, but she believes it is in the range of $26,000 a month. Mr. Van Hoosen stated that penalties are usually used to change behavior, but if the penalties are that high, it's not change behavior. The committee agreed that more data is needed before they address this topic, and since penalties have already been waived for May and June due to COVID-19, they can take a closer look at it in the June committee meeting. Other business, Mr. Smith asked that Ms. Gassi look into the return check fee reference to in Rule 65. He asked her to find out what the actual fee the city pays is and why the rate is higher for customers outside the city. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned at 7:07 p.m. And our next scheduled meeting is going to be June 24th at 6:30 p.m. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The other business, Corey, you called first, so let me turn it over to you.
This is going to be a tad repetitive, which you should be used to from me at this point. I just want to highlight again the fact that there is an organized event tomorrow. It's called the Perrysburg Black Lives Matter Peaceful Protest. That will begin at Woodlands Park at 2. I will be there. I will be participating in that event with my family. I would encourage anybody that has time to come out, participate, or listen and watch what a successful, peaceful protest can look like, hopefully. And I also would like to point out, it's my understanding that this was organized by some teenagers in the area, and they worked with the mayor's office and the police chief to help organize this event. And I just want to commend them on getting involved in the government and exercising their First Amendment rights. So I think that's really cool, and that needs to be noted. And I have nothing else.
Thanks.
Mr. Mayor, I have something under other as well regarding tomorrow. And in general, the right to peacefully assemble is the right of all American citizens. Uncontrolled violence is not. I have strong confidence in our police department to make certain that the protest remains peaceful. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business?
I have a quick question about this. This is Jim Turner, Councilwoman Turner. And I think I know the answer, but I just want to get clarification. We're not going to impede any traffic, correct?
No.
But I'm talking about 75.
That's not anywhere near 75.
Or 795.
795. No, they're walking on the sidewalk.
Okay, just, I know, I figured that, but you know what they.
I think the police will be there to monitor crossings, so that for safety's sake for everybody involved. But there's no intent to have the street blocked.
I was asked, and I just
Yeah, that's
wanted
fine.
to make sure. I didn't, I figured I shouldn't say no.
No, thank you. Any other business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
No, all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Council meeting is adjourned.